Hello everyone, Chris here with a brand new episode of The Chris Show. Before I get started, I want to wish everybody here in the United States, my friends, my family, and of course, my beloved fans a very happy Thanksgiving. And I wish the same for those of you in the Philippines. The only other country where they celebrate Thanksgiving is Canada, but in that country it's the second Monday in October. Today's topic is a prediction I'm going to make for the 21st century. The 19th century clearly belonged to Great Britain. The 20th century, the United States of America. Many academics, journalists, and historians believe that the 21st century will belong to China. What I find funny is back in the 1980s, they said the same thing about Japan. I don't believe any one country is going to dominate. Here's my reason. Starting in the mid-20th century, power blocks of nations started to grow. They were born and they grew. The first, of course, after the United Nations was the European Economic Community, which is now known as the European Union. And here in my own backyard, in 1994, President Bill Clinton signed into law the NAFTA Agreement, which is the North American Free Trade Agreement, which includes the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Chile. Funny, Chile is in South America, but it is a middle power in the Western Hemisphere. In 2005, the Trans-Pacific Partnership was inaugurated to go alongside with APEC, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Treaty. That is an economic and power trade bloc of the Pacific Rim nations. If you look at a map of the Pacific Ocean, going counterclockwise, it would include the United States, remember Alaska, then Canada, Mexico, Peru, Chile, New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, India, Brunei, Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, Japan, South Korea, and Russia. The main goal for America is hopefully we can open up markets for U.S.-made goods and bring back our manufacturing base. Much of it was lost starting in the 1960s with the movement of companies overseas into offshore accounts. Yes, offshore accounts means investment overseas. And then the European Union grew in size, starting from only 6 countries in the 1950s to the point where now it stretches from the Arctic Circle as far south as the Mediterranean and as far west as Ireland, and as far east as the border with the Ukraine. Yes, most of the former Soviet bloc nations are now part of both the European Union and NATO. And then within these power blocs, there are nations which pretty much call the shots, so to speak. That is, they're the major economic players. In North America, Canada, the United States, and Mexico, that's a given. In South America, Argentina, Brazil, and Chile, they're known as the ABC countries. And Venezuela and Colombia are also rich, and they have their own clout as well. Even though Hugo Chavez is no longer with us, and whether or not you liked him, he would have liked that. In Africa, South Africa is still the dominant power economically and politically. In the Middle East, you have Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and a lot of people won't like to hear this, but Iran. In Europe, the major players in the European Union are the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Italy. Russia is not a member, they're a Eurasian nation, but it is still the largest country in land mass and one of the top 10 nations in population, and it is very rich in natural resources. So what I think you're going to see is rather than just one country dominate, you'll see these power blocs working for their own interests within their regions of the world and seeking to expand. Case in point, China is already investing in South America as well as Africa. The United States, we're still the largest global power, economically and militarily wise. We have holdings all over the world. And even though the sun set on the British Empire gradually in the 20th century, the UK still has many holdings in its former colonies and other countries around the world, including within the European Union. So that's my pick of the day, my prediction that there won't be any one nation, but these power blocs and several nations within and without vying for power. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.